Well, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge will leave Sydney for Queensland this morning. They'll fly into the Amberley Air Force Base, 50 kilometres southwest of Brisbane.
Joining us to look at today's events are Sunrise reporter Sophie Hull at RAAF Amberley. Here in the studio we have Sunrise Royal correspondent Rob Jobson and CNN Royal correspondent Max Foster. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Now, so first to you, just talk us through the agenda for today.
Well, we're here at RAAF Base Amberley, and lots of the places we've been to along the way on this tour have had to be a bit tizzied up ahead of the royal visit. They've had to scrape gum off the ground, clean up the graffiti, all that sort of thing. RAAF Base Amberley, always royal ready. So the royals will touch down here at about 11 o'clock at this very spick and span location. They'll be met by a royal guard. They'll then go over to one squadron where the Duke and Duchess will take part in a flight simulation of an F-18 Super Hornet, and they'll also inspect a real one. Then they'll go and plant a tree in the memorial garden, and then they're through to the officers' mess to meet sort of family members who've lost loved ones serving in military operations overseas, and offer them some words of comfort and hear their stories too.
All right, thanks, Soph. Now, it seems without exception, everybody says that this is an absolutely delightful couple. They're engaged when they're speaking to people. You know, they've had a great response. But there has also been talk that it's lacking some of the spontaneity of perhaps a Diana tour. Is that fair?
I think it's fair. Maybe it's been a bit organised that way. I mean, I would have thought this is a great cause they're doing today up in Queensland. It's important. But you've got Royal Randwick with the Queen's Horse racing today. It would have been quite a good event as well to fly in and just to turn up to wow the crowds. I don't know, maybe...
There was a lot of lobbying for that to happen.
Was there?
Yeah, there was. Nothing to do with Rob going to those races. Killing two birds in one stone.
That's down to Perez. You know,
should actually be doing what Rob's doing. It was all wrong.
Well, I don't know. If the Queen's Horse comes in, that'll be on the front pages all around the UK, I promise you.
Well, should Berry have to pull out at any point, you may be called upon to mount that horse.
I think that horse would not make it to the end if I got on.
Too many days in a good paddock. Max, you're here for CNN. What is it that the Americans get out of watching a royal tour?
Well, it's I think there's a celebrity factor involved there. I think they're a level above celebrity. You know, this is a culture sort of, you know, it's about celebrity, the US, isn't it? They're led by personalities, and this is a level above that, and it's unattainable celebrity, I think, as well. But, you know, they're a good-looking couple, and now you've got Prince George, and you couldn't make it up, could you? Even he's photogenic.
Yeah, truly.
And we'll see him again on Sunday, and it is largely about Prince George, but actually we were a bit worried, I think, you know, that the bits between Prince George wouldn't be as interesting, but they have been. You know, I mean, the surfing was great, the cricket was great in New Zealand, and there were lots of great moments, lots of picture moments.
Has it had a good response in the US?
It hasn't had... the coverage hasn't been as big as it has been in the past, I have to say, but internationally there's huge interest. On CNN International there's been lots of interest, and, you know, I mean, pictures like this.
Right, he's gorgeous.
I was doing a piece, actually, on, sadly, the fashion.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those awkward
middle-aged men.
Awkward realities of royal reporting. And I ended up speaking to an expert, and it ended up being about Prince George and these outfits selling out.
They've said in London that they've got this sliding scale on the newspapers of how grumpy George is and how unimpressed he is when he meets people. At least he's not crawling, you know, crying his eyes out, but they've got this sliding scale. Very grumpy, not slightly impressed, you know. I just want to go home.
I did hear an Australian reporter the other day claiming that George looked very pleased with the way the tour was going.
I think that reporter needs a little bit of a break.
Well, here, didn't he actually shake hands with someone here? I mean, well ahead of his time.
It's got that sort of, you know, Her Majesty's look there, hasn't he? Really?
He does, yes, the displeasure look. But he wanted a cute little dumpling.
The excitement.
That's it.
He likes to line up.
Excitement.
The kangaroo bounce.
He's super cute. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Max,
guys.
Rob, we'll talk to you throughout
Enjoy the rest of the tour.
Yeah.
We're going to Uluru next, aren't we?
Yeah, that'll be amazing.
Yeah,
That's
amazing.
Tomorrow?
Well, they'll be there Tuesday.
Oh, they're having a day off on Monday,
That's right.
and then heading off after that.
Just quickly before we go, there didn't seem to have been any anti-royal sentiment along the way.
Really? I mean, there was a little tiny bit in New Zealand.
Yeah.
There hasn't really been any. I mean, I was here and Prince Charles had the Tumbalong Park incident and all sorts of things. I think things have changed. Either that or the police are getting better.
Yeah, that's right. Normally on an Australian tour you'd expect one person to point out that the only reason they're royal is because their ancestors bludgeoned our ancestors to death and enslaved them. And yet we celebrate that fact. But I'm not going to point that out.
I think that there was some in New Zealand.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but then
was that the big guy with the tattoos on his buttocks?
I don't think it was him.
No, he was an official greeter.
Was he? Yes.
So they say.